Hey, Matt, get your dumb ass back in the car.
4 a.m. and stumbling, feel regret, can't feel my face. Walking down these Tokyo streets, wreck a bam that make me come. Coming on, thought up, could I hook a chimo so? Jola one day, Chicago, ni tonic, top of Calamina. Poop no yats, I wanna fly, I know. Bredo on mine. You could eat frost like Mike, yeah, no. Topo Calamina. Poop no yats, I wanna fly, I know. Bredo on mine. You could eat frost like Mike, yeah, no.
When I walk inside Tokyo City, please don't call me bitches. 歩く冗談で飛んでく富士海越え肌の色も関係はない。汚れた手で稼いだマネー、手元には何も残らねえ。この超ラップで仲間たちとドリプレがこびや。超ラップで超えるボーダーライン、東京から発信してからだフライ。プライベートジェットでいつか太巻きでロールアップ、テイクオフするオーバースモーク、Take it to the top、殴り書きのシナリオで Young Rich G-Wagon、転がす先ハードウェイ。
トップから見えないプップのやつ I wanna fly, I know. ブレッド on mine. You could eat frost like Mike, yeah, no. トップから見えないプップのやつ I wanna fly, I know. ブレッド on mine. You could eat frost like Mike, yeah, no. トップから見えない Dear nigga tryna fly. ブレッド on mine. Like Mike. トップから見えない Dear nigga tryna fly. Bread on mine. Like my. Bread on mine. You could eat frost like Mike.
Yo, what's up, Fresh? What's up? Satsuki, my guy.
Hey, Matt, get your dumb ass back in the car.
4 a.m. and stumbling, feel regret, can't feel my face. Walking down these Tokyo streets, wreck a bam that make me come. Coming on, thought up, could I hook a
Alright, you've been waiting to hear my thoughts on the chapter. I mean, yo, this was a big deal, honestly. So I kind of got a mouthful. Let me finish this. I don't know enough people. Yeah, I'm ready to start. What's happening? What's good with y'all? What's really good? That's lit. Was the chapter moving, y'all? Were y'all moved? I wasn't unmoved, don't worry. It's JOYBOY, The Will of D, The Void Century, and things of that nature are things I don't think I have a lot of I've really voiced my opinions on them in a lot of public spaces. So this might be the first time you kind of really hear me go in depth and talk about a couple of these concepts in One Piece. Bonjour, mon cœur. But okay. I'll start with the chapter in general, my thoughts and things like that. So I actually thought the chapter was good. Luffy being 4-0. Thank you. It's the silk, like the silky ones. I like these ones. The texture is nice. It feels good on your head. So Kaido is 4-0 against Luffy. Some people might say 3-0, but he's beat Luffy every single time. So one thing that I do really like that Oda is doing is he's putting respect on the kind of like title of Yonko. Because there's so many things I can see here that he's trying to do. Because even with Kid and Law doing everything in their power to beat Big Mom, it was because of the way the circumstances and the geography that they were experiencing in the environment are major factors to how they were able to win. Because you can basically say they beat Big Mom without depleting her HP. It was a ring out victory, and it's not to say it's not a W. It's a win. But it's a win in every conceivable manner. But at the end of the day, they didn't like fully beat, subjugate, and break Big Mom's spirit in that sense. You know what I'm saying? Luffy had to win it that way. He wasn't beating Kaido by just hitting him off the island, so to speak. So with Kid and Law beating Big Mom, it's like they did it. They upheld their part of the bargain, and it was Luffy's job because Law sounds like disappointed, like he's used to Luffy almost pulling off a miracle. He's like, damn it, like the one like the most important time where we're both facing a Yonko, you did uphold your side of what was going on. So that was crazy. That I liked. So I think that he put respect on Kaido's strength. I know everyone was saying 1-on-1, blah blah blah, Kaido, blah blah blah. I do actually like. I thought I wasn't sure how Kaido was gonna act this chapter. All things considered, I do like that he bought that's CP0 agent. I don't remember his name. He accepted his fate. He- did you see that man tilt his hat down and just say dot like he's red? He didn't say nothing. He just said, "I know. Just club me to death, bro. It's a wrap. I got it. I know." He did not fight against that, bro. If Luffy had more arcs and more training, Luffy would need this or would have awakened sooner or later. Well, I'm gonna get to that in a second. So that was good. But yeah, he just accepted his fate. Then Kaido basically trying to break everyone's spirits. He didn't even be like he didn't even act like, hey, I tagged Gopi on Discord, but not enough. Oh really? Did Discord even? Well, it tweeted everybody. That's all that matters. Don't worry about that. So the other ECP agent was acting suspect. I don't know what's going on with him, but I think he's like, thank God I didn't have that assignment. That assignment is dead. So yeah, that was good. So I do think, personally speaking, the integrity and the title of being an emperor has been upheld because Kaido has done what you guys can, I understand that he interrupted the fight, but I really don't think Kaido was particularly in any danger. I'm not saying Luffy couldn't have done something and that hit wouldn't have done something, but I don't necessarily think that Kaido was like on the verge of losing. I wanted to see the clash go through to see what would happen. You never know. So Kaido coming and trying to break everyone's spirits. He's kind of cleaning up house. He's just blowing fire everywhere, and he's like, "All right, bro. Like, I just want not. Why am I stinky, bro? Why gotta be all that? Why can't I just be? Why can't I smell good? I think I smell good, man. I don't think I'm stinky." But he's like cleaning house, and the reason why I don't speak about the Void Century and Joy Boy and some of the Zusina and Voice of All Things is because, like, to me, when those stuff are properly introduced to the story of One Piece, there's gonna be a huge paradigm shift. You didn't say it was bad stinky, bro. There's no good stinky. I guess if the weeds thing, you know what I'm saying? But like I think those once those concepts are properly introduced to the story and we get the history and stuff, how we see One Piece will not be the same. It'll retroactively change a lot of the stuff that we already have seen and experienced. I truly believe that, which is why I think that this can be a very major crossroads and turning point for the series, depending on the explanation for a lot of these things. I don't think Oda's gonna jump straight into the truth about Joy Boy and Zusina and the promise he made. I think we'll get like a tidbit, a snippet of that, but man's finally awakened at DF. I don't know about that, but I do think that if it's not well handled or well executed, this could make and break the series for a lot of people. And why do I say that? Believe it or not, Luffy being out. By the way, I like that the narrator said that Luffy had lost the battle to Kaido. Kaido was the victor. It's almost like I think if Kaido goes down with this Joy Boy awakening, it's almost like Luffy didn't beat him. It's like Joy Boy versus Kaido. I'm not sure what theories and what speculations you guys have on the concept of the Joy Boy. Do you think it's a person? Do you think it's a spirit? Do you think it's a title? Do you think like I'm not sure how everyone is looking at it. Some people think that Joy Boy is a title given to somebody who's the drum of liberation, perhaps, if you will. Some people I've heard say it's probably this like will of D that kind of goes into somebody with the initials of D and awakens some way. But here's how I think I'll take it well. I kind of never liked the thought of Luffy just being kind of Roger 2.0. In a lot of ways, that's how I've started to see him, personally speaking. I'm not saying they have a lot of commonalities and generalities and overlap, but Roger and Luffy are different in a lot of ways. But in a lot of ways, I think Oda tried to portray Luffy's voyage and Luffy's crew and Luffy because you think of the dynamic with Rayleigh and Zoro and Luffy and how they met first crew members of what's up man, so what's up everyone, what's up Nat, I seen you in there, my bad, I'm trying to lose my train of thought. Shit, what was I saying? I lost it. That's crazy. My concern is Luffy probably won't even care that this is entity. In a way, it's not really free. I want him to address it. That's true. I hear that. Um, what was I saying? Damn it. Okay, let me backtrack. Will of D, Joy Boy. Okay, so I don't like him. Like the idea of him being like Roger 2.0. I thought that was lazy. Because even like I personally is one of those people where I'm like, this hat went from Roger to Shanks to Luffy. I wasn't totally feeling that. 'Cause I thought you're trying to over connect the two. But in a lot of ways, I don't think that could be the case anymore because Roger was not Joy Boy. He knows the truth about him and whatnot, but it wasn't Roger. Roger was just a very competent pirate with the initial of D that kind of completed the voyage of the world, so to speak. So that's why if Luffy is like the Joy Boy, it depends on what the concept of Joy Boy really is. Is it a title? Is it a person? Is it a spirit? Is it going to take him over because he's grinning and it looks like his face is like almost metamorphosed, like changing in like it almost looks kind of like Conjuro's paint a little bit. Like looks like he's changing a different person. Like if someone is going to take over Luffy's body, depending on execution, I might not like that. I might not like that. I like Roger more now in a way. Yes, I actually agree with that. In a lot of ways, Roger now comes across to me as a lot more original, so to speak. Or not he's not original because he's kind of the first. Luffy would be the remix, but you know what I mean. He did what he had to do, and he did it on his deathbed, on his last last laurels on when he was dying, and then he gave himself up. So, some people saying that the fruit is actually oil. Whose food is oil? Luffy's. Personally, I feel like they overhyped this chapter. I don't know if people overhyped or not. I don't pay attention to that stuff. I don't engage in spoilers. I don't look at that. I don't know what people were saying about it coming up. But here's ultimately how I'll take it well. First, I think the first important thing that has to be addressed is why the Joy Boy quote unquote awaken within Luffy now? Why did it happen in this instance? Why didn't it happen when he lost to Crocodile? When he lost to other characters? Why was it with this particular defeat did this happen? I think you need a good explanation for that. Or at the very least, I want to know if he awakens now, if there was moments and instances of very implicit little details and tidbits that we didn't really notice and pick up that we could notice before that. So, do you think it's because he's actually dead, Nat? Okay. Do you think you think Kaido actually like body? You think okay? So it's okay. All right, fair enough. His devil fruit woke up. To me, it's corny. You think it's like the devil within the devil fruit? Because when you're dead, it's supposed to like reincarnate elsewhere. Because we know how the cycle devil fruit works. But that's interesting. I think Shanks, the snitch, said the thingy. Yeah, I think him dying was a part something. I think Joy Boy being a whole different person will force Luffy to acknowledge the conflict between that Luffy's freedom was just a reincarnation. Oda can pretend the conflict on themes isn't there. Luffy is like Roger's son Loki with getting his half from someone who was like his adopted son and being his brother to his real son. Yes, because they all said his voice said something. It didn't happen before because Oda didn't think about it. Think Joy Boy being okay. But that was gone. See what you guys said a little earlier. My bad. I haven't been keeping chat.
イエーイ
Suspect.
お兄ちゃんピース
What's
ピ
up?
ース
Yeah, Luffy probably would have killed him. I can see that.
イエーイお兄ちゃん
My gut
ピー
tells me
ス
it's
ピ
gonna
ー
be an
ス
Atem Yugi situation with the Straw Hats being the puzzle. Sykes, thank you for the subscription. My guy. I think Luffy will reject Joy Boy when he first gets told about it. So do I. And I wonder if this is gonna be one of those things that is like a double spirit thing. I think what is somewhat disappointing me, or I guess as a bit of a letdown for me is it's funny. Quietly tweeted this the other day that Luffy need like a crazy awakening angry moment. I said, nah, we don't need that. That's played out true because Luffy had the Luffy. Naruto had Kurama and is things named White? I don't remember, but Ichigo had like a hollow in him, like the whole like the evil angry thing. So like this is kind of playing into that trope in its own way. I don't know. But I kind of don't like the idea of some other being taking over Luffy's body, but I do think the execution will be absolutely the way that I take it. Cause I do think that if this Joy Boy thing connects well, it's seamless, it doesn't really interrupt or conflict with any of the other moving parts of the narrative, I'll be okay with it. Because again, again, like I said earlier, I kind of never liked the idea of Luffy just kind of being like the second coming of Roger, so to speak. Because I think that's how he was kind of set up to be and look in a lot of ways, and the way that the story kind of showcased it. Thank you for the follow, Hina. But yeah, welcome though, welcome. A lot of the Naruto fans are gonna get on us for this chapter. Oh, for sure they will, for sure they will. And you know what? I'm not mad at them for it. Why did you go? We'll see what happens. Luffy might need something to stand up to Blackbeard. Need the Naruto fans to eat dirt when it turns out he ain't do nothing what they think he is. I think it would be a Tam Yuki situation. So you think it's gonna be like one of those things where like like Joy Boy might try to take over Luffy's body or something? Because I don't mind the idea of like Joy Boy, Luffy completely rejecting him and never letting him take his body over again, even after this one instance. But I do think that what you guys said earlier is probably not a bad way to look at it. But then again, what do we fully understand about the concept of life and death in this series with the afterlife or whatnot? The only person we know that doesn't kind of experience death is Brook. Other series have like their weird purgatory and whatnot. So is Luffy actually dead? I don't know. I kind of think he might not be. Hello, what's going on? What's up? What's up? Unlike Naruto, One Piece never dismissed destiny, which is why I'm interested in the future execution. I'm just not that confident. So you're cautiously optimistic, like I am, I would assume. Watch Joy Boy see Zoro and Sanji, then name a samurai and a Lunarian. You can wake up to. When we're gonna discuss One Piece, I'd love to share my thoughts and hear what yours are. Different parts of Wano. We can do that. Next week is not a bad time. What are you doing right now? You can come talk. You can come talk right now if you're not busy, fish. I'll have to grab my headphones, but you can come talk with me right now for a bit if you want to. But next week is not a bad week. Pretty much after Monday, I'm good. Just let me know. Give me a time. I'll be there. Would it be better if it was a devil trigger type form? I don't know. I never particularly like I think a lot of this stuff comes. I think a lot of this stuff it depends on what you're really thinking. What are you really thinking? Cause some people think that the devil and the devil fruit is literal. Kind of like the appetite demons in Toriko, I guess, being literal. I think a lot of the stuff depends on how you really see the series, how you've interpreted stuff, what your theories and speculations are for what's going to come, how you've prognosticated the end of One Piece. Because I do think that like earlier, if we had asked some people what they thought was going to happen with One Piece, they thought all of the Yonko would be dethroned by by the supernovas. So basically, at some point, Luffy, Kid, Law, and whoever would have been the Yonko at some point, and then fight for One Piece, right? Like a lot of people, how they foresee the series going is completely different. Sorry, hold on. I think Luffy is dead just because everyone heard or can hear the voices said his voice is gone. But your voice being gone couldn't be like you're unconscious and defeated, right? So because Isa couldn't hear Luffy's voice when he was in the snake, but he wasn't dead. And Isa and Scarface said she couldn't hear voices of some people, but they were just KO. Yeah, I think so too. Kaido killed RMC. He won't. He won't go. He won't go live, but he could talk to Naya. Okay. I'm down next week. It's noisy around mine. I'll definitely DM. Okay, let me know then. I think Joy Boy will try to take over Luffy not because he's evil, because he failed before. I won't allow it to happen again. Taking over Luffy and fighting personally, enjoy that. But then again, I think the question of why Luffy's being chosen is an important question that needs to be addressed. Why Luffy? Why did you wait till Luffy died? Why didn't you save him before? Why, when the other characters were knocked out or Luffy was knocked out by other characters, did you not come and possess the body? Did you need an empty vessel? Is it because Luffy's a lot stronger and mastered conqueror's hockey to some degree now? Like there's so many variables that I'm thinking about. But as long as it's coherent, I don't have an issue. Side note, I really like that Kid and Law got right back to business when they saw Kaido. So do I. They're like, yo, I got nothing left, but I like kids like I don't surrender and I'm not trying to die. I will fight to my last breath. What if Joy Boy talks no Jutsu Kaido? Oh god, no, that won't happen. Don't worry. I personally thought Nika was Usopp. Why now? Why not? The CP0 agent got my respect. Matt stood there and the other ones saluted. They were off of that. That guy said, I'm not even going to fight my fate. He was so funny to me. You can't hear the voice of someone if he's dead or inside some other living person. Kid goaded. Kid's not goaded, but he did his thing to some degree. Damn. And it's like Luffy got like he really got snake too. Like he didn't just lose straight up this time. Like that man really interrupted. And Kaido didn't even like. I thought Kaido would despair about it a bit longer, but he just said, "Hey, I beat him. He's dead. I killed him." I respect that. You're a pirate. You got stuff to do. He said, and one thing that Kaido said that I really like, personally speaking, I think is not getting. I don't know if it's getting a lot of respect the same way Doflamingo's speech and Marineford is, but he said something along the lines. I don't remember it verbatim, along the lines of, "Yo, you chose to wage war against me, which means you risk your rights, your dreams, your freedom, and your future. I don't care if you're a man, woman, child, old or young. You're a slave for the rest of your life until your body gives up. That's what you get for challenging me." I love that. I love that. Because it's true. That's what happens when you lose a war. He said, "Y'all lost the war. I don't care what you are. You will make weapons for me for the until your body gives out." I'm like, God damn, nigga. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, that was cold, bro. That was cold. I'm with that. So I like Kaido too, young. I really do. I like Kaido. He's good. I like him. I can see people with the voice of all things being vessels to Joy Boy's soul, so Roger could have been the one, but he wasn't born in the right time. Because Roger did say he was too early. That's not a bad. I hear what you're saying. Do you think it's maybe the combination of Wano, the Kozuki, because they made the pony clips a little bit, like maybe a century before, I believe, if I remember correctly, like 900. I could be wrong about that. Zushina, Momonosuke being there in tandem with Luffy, it's almost like some of the moving parts are coming together. Do you think it's possible because of what Luffy did on Fishman Island in tandem with the Noah? Like it's like a series of certain events caused maybe Joy Boy to want to choose Luffy. Like how did Luffy get chosen to be Joy Boy? Is so I don't know. So yeah. Kaido went off. Kaido dialogue used some heat. When he said, "What? No, 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 hold on. What did you say? Gomu Gomu no what?" I said, "Bro, why are you doing like that?" Every month to be employee of the month. Yeah, Kaido was real angry after coming down. He's mad because he didn't get to his. That wasn't a satisfying way for his fight to end. I think the thing with this situation, Luffy doesn't have anything else to beat Kaido. So maybe Joy Boy said, "Yeah, I think it's time. Maybe I'm not sure." I really hope we get to see Kaido catching bodies now that he's back in the castle, but I'm not gonna get ahead of myself. I think it might be part of the timing of the Fire Festival with what a sacred day of the dead. And then again, maybe partially to do with the 20 years prognostication by Toki. There's a lot. This is like the thing where, like, I think depending on your perspective and what kind of evidence and parts of story you're pulling for, you can probably make some type of, like, it's gonna be a flimsy case because obviously this is just pure speculation and headcanon territory. But I do think this really depends on how you look at the series. Because if you ask me, what do I think? I think the death thing is well said, but I wonder it's because Zushina is on the way, or so to speak. Momonosuke is talking to Zushina, and then Kaido. You think like maybe if you hit a certain tier of strength, you're worthy of possibly being Kaido? Because Kaido was thought to be possibly Joy Boy by was it King or Albert? I think he said, "Are you Joy Boy?" And then after at one point he said, You said I guess you weren't Joy Boy either." Like Kaido seems to know what it's about. So do you even think Kaido would recognize that this is not Luffy? Like it's like Joy Boy. Is Luffy gonna quickly snap out of it? I mean, Luffy gonna snap out of it. How does Luffy come back to life? If that's the case, does he come back to life? Is he no longer a Gomu Ningen? Did he lose his Delphoid ability because it went up somewhere else? I have so many questions. I don't know, bro. That's why I really like. That's why I titled this the way that I did, because I really do think that depending on how this all plays out in the grand scheme, it could really make or break the series or cause a huge paradigm shift for better or for worse. We could start. This could be the decline. We could maybe stay kind of stagnant, or we could be on the incline. So go upwards. Sorry. Luffy has no brains, so you could take over his body. So when Emu was looking at pictures, he was looking at potential Joy Boy candidates. If so, shouldn't the Straw Hats or Gomu Gomu no Mi give away that Luffy is the most likely candidate? The Straw Hat for sure. I don't know. I'm not sure why you said the Gomu Gomu no Mi. Expand on that part. We don't know of how Joy Boy looks, so he may have had traits of each candidate. I wonder if that's true. So, but why V? But then so then Vivi was candidate. Wasn't it Vivi one of the pictures there with the knife in it with Emu? Because Emu is another character. I don't know what to do with her right now. Emu is Emu, and I just let Emu rock. So what's this gonna go on? I'm not So you're gonna pull the chapter up real quick because I do want to see if there's anything I forgot to mention. Because I don't think that I is it who which YouTuber again said that the raid's gonna fail? Was it Marge or someone else? Yeah, that blow looked devastating to Luffy. I didn't think Luffy was dead though, honestly. I just thought he lost the battle. But I guess if you guys really think he's dead, it's possible. King of the Beast, Luffy just out. He smacks the fuck out of them. He comes down. That guy just tipped his hat. Yeah, it's CP0 respect. They're going crazy. There's fire. Chopper always believes everything immediately. Damn it. Marco helps defend. The samurai up in the fire. He said, "Big Mononosuke." Oh yeah, Yamato saying, "Bro, we waited too long for this. We die together. We die or we win. There's no slavery." So let me hear it. Mononosuke, I can hear it. It really takes me back. What do you mean I can hear Gems Liberation? This is the first time in 800 years. He is there without a doubt. Who is Joy Boy? And then I can see it's like he's steaming. There's a grin, and the top part where I see his face and his hair, it's looking like this weird like texture substance. I don't know what it is. I have no idea what to make of this. Is one of these chapters where like it's like when I saw the straw hat in Marijua. I didn't know what to do. I just malfunctioned. I short circuited. I'm like, bro, what am I looking at? What's happening? I'm so confused. I don't know. I don't know. Shit's crazy. Joy Boy trying to tell Luffy about his destiny and the voice century Luffy picking his nose like where's Kaido? It was March? Okay, I hope the raid fails honestly. Gomu Gomu was apparent is apparent as a important dumb fruit. It might be related to JB, it might not, just do it out there. I do think it's one of the more special paramecias though, I'll give you that. Would the crew pulling him out be too cheesy even if they use practical methods like they voice or Zoro tried to use his conquerors to wake him up? I don't know. Me and Sensei and Ink were talking about this yesterday, but Luffy is possessed by Joy Boy. We won't really like it. But if Luffy's talking to Joy Boy and he's like, I don't care about any of this, that'd be raw. So do I. So do I. Because it's like Luffy keeping it like Luffy being like possessed or controlled by some being from the past to like to dictate the course of his life, his fate completely takes away from his idea of being free. And I don't have a problem if Oda is going to actually do this and address that. That like with you being in my body, it's like my life didn't mean nothing. Like you're controlling it, blah blah blah. I don't know. Kind of like how like if maybe I shouldn't spoil this, but there's a character in My Hero where his mentor, so to speak, was in his body, and he just like, "Yo, get out! It's me. I'm the new guy. I don't want your help. Move. You're done." So that's a picture of Pell. I was looking at Joker candidates. Luffy not caring about important stuff. Who would have thought? But I'm okay with that. I hope their raid fails. Honestly, I'm indifferent. I don't care if their raid fails or not. I just want proper conflict intention. Joy Boy trying to tell Luffy about his destiny. Yeah. I could watch Kaido be Luffy more times. Chopper cry made me die. Vivi and Blackbeard and Luffy were the candidates, so Joy Boy was a fat man with a straw hat and blue. Fish on wait, Fish on his Jake gimmick again. That's crazy. Glam. Fuck, it's too late for Luffy to change. He's always going to be the same. I've accepted it. Kaido might have temporarily broke his will so they could hear his voice. I think Momo and Hiyori will kill Kaido if he dies. I think Hiyori will do it. Jake and my world enemy couldn't. How you liking Luffy becoming an ancestor? Luffy becoming his ancestor Ashura now. Wait, who's Ashura? Who's that? Honestly, again, this is such a tricky moment because I really do think if he does not execute this well, it won't sit well with a lot of people, me included. But again, I probably rather Luffy be Joy Boy than I'd rather him be Roger 2.0 if I had to choose one, personally speaking. I just want one thing from the Straw Hats: talk to each other. Facts. If Nuke killed Pell, it would have became Joy Boy. Naruto. That's not happening. Yes, sir. I know. I don't know. This is tricky, yo. Again, this is one of those chapters because, like, and I'm at the point where I want more answers and confusion. So I do hope that in 2 weeks he kind of does dive into it. Do you guys think Odo's is gonna not address this at all for a couple weeks? Do you think he'll do the thing where he just dick teases you, like, here's a little snippet here and there and here and there and here and there, and then 300 chapters later, then we'll get the whole story? Because the Void Century, Zushina, the what the world government did to erase that stuff, and Joy Boy, and all those things, I think that's all. That's some of the most important things in One Piece. Like I said, it'll change how we see the series because a lot of these Eastern stories from manga, when you get to like the end game and they do certain things, it kind of changes. It kind of changes how you thought about stuff. Like learning that chakra came from fucking aliens. The aliens came to Earth, made a fucking chakra fruit, ate it, and then now everybody's got like part alien DNA. Like that changes the whole makeup of the series. Like these niggas are not all human; they're actually aliens. Like so, it's crazy to think about it that way. Whereas I think like with knowing the truth of the voice century will change a lot of the ways that we look at devil fruits and all kinds of things. And actually, then again, the devil fruit reveal according to Oda is not necessarily. I'm not saying it's not. It's divorced from the voice century, but Vegapunk is supposed to be the one that lets us know like all the moving parts properly. So we'll see what happens with that. Oda is definitely focusing on Chopper next chapter. Kaido that next chapter. I think he's going back to Zoro. Okay, Zoro, fair enough. Luffy doing it for Joy Boy. I definitely think it's gonna be some like the fish meant ice situation. Luffy rejects being a hero, Joy Boy, but he obviously goes through with it in his own way. I was referring to Naruto reincarnating from Ashura. Oh, I didn't remember the kids' names. So Indra and Ashura. Sorry, my bad. I don't remember their names. You should have just said Ninja Jesus' kids. That's how I don't even Hagoromo. Is that his name? I don't even remember their names like that. But yeah. I mean, I don't know, Glam. I really don't think this is a big deal if it's executed properly. I don't know if you heard what I said earlier. So I'll kind of okay. And Miles is here too. So I'll kind of rehash what I said a little bit, and then you guys can kind of tell me what you think. Kaido top 6, turning into a top 7 soon. You're am I giving Oda too much credit? Yes, yeah. So far, ain't no hockey tree that allows everyone to use hockey. Or that might be a flashback to my chopper started acting old. Wait, so I act so Act One kind of said he felt like Luffy was looking at him while unconscious. Was that Joy Boy peeping? Oh shoot, I didn't think about that, but I think that was just his will. But then again, let's start over. Okay, so essentially TLDR, I guess maybe I am still long winded when I repeat this. I always thought that since kind of the New World, learning that Luffy there's a lot of things that Luffy did in tandem with Roger. Going, he said things that Roger said. That's why Shanks gave him the hat. The Shanks that had was originally Roger's. Skypiea, the Goldie Roger inscripted something on some stuff. Obviously Will of D. A lot of the crews have a lot of parallels in terms of like the sniper, sniper. I'm with the sorry with Rayleigh and Zoro and blah 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 blah. Right, a lot of overlap there. And then when like they were like this hat was his. I'm like, damn it, they're doing a lot to make Luffy Roger 2.0. Wasn't a fan of that. I think with this, it actually breaks that mold for me. I think now it'll be hard to call Luffy Roger 2.0, but then again, he can be Joy Boy or the reincarnation of Joy Boy. I don't know what you guys think the concept of Joy Boy is. Do you think it's a person? Is it a title? Is it somebody who actually existed in the past and through the will of D or some magical force or whatever the case is, could possess somebody from the D clan and then again, how do you get chosen? Why did why did this only happen now? Luffy's lost a lot of fights before. Is it because he is quote unquote dead, like some people said before? Is he actually dead? What is the reason for the awakening? That's an important thing that needs to be addressed. I don't want this to be just, oh, this happened today because it happened today. Like, no, why? Is it a time frame thing? Has it legitimately, with this minute, this moment, been like 900 years since the promise? Is it because Luffy has done what he's done with Fishman Island? The fact that Jusina is coming, Momonosuke can hear the voice, is like the right circumstances happening right now for this to take place. There's so many things you have to like. I think there's too many variables to really like get a grasp on what's happening. Is Joy Boy going to take over Luffy's body and now they're of one body and two minds or two spirits? I don't know if I like that, but I do like it if Luffy completely rejects him. Whether or not he kicks Joyboy out his body somehow or he represses him, I like the idea of Luffy being like, yo, that got nothing to do with me. Where is Kaido? I'm beating his ass. I heard some people say in the comment earlier, Luffy not caring about important things. What's like whatever. That's who he is. He always has been that way. I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's not a problem to me. That's an exercise in futility at this point. I want Luffy to. Luffy is going to go on about his journey to find the One Piece exactly how he wants to do it. You're not telling him otherwise. So that's not a criticism to me. That's a lazy complaint. That's a nitpick. But that being said, I think personally, if it's a one-time thing, or it's more like Joy Boy is here to tell Luffy the truth of the world or what happens. I don't know. There's so many ways this can go. There's too many. There's the tree. The flow chart is too diverse, bro. I don't know. It's too much going on. I don't know. Let me see what y'all saying though. I got you. What did I miss? What's up, Zodiac? I'm waiting on it. It's fair. Glam's fraud. Don't have an opinion on it. Honestly, I think if Luffy and Joy Boy may be similar, so what if they agree on it? That'll be interesting. If they have an interesting concept. If Luffy gets a Joy Boy power up and beats Kaido, what's the point of Luffy fighting Big Mom again? I guess you could say, what if so Sasuke, for argument's sake, what if this is a one-time thing? What if it's not a permanent power up? Like he takes over the body, he beats Kaido, but now when he fights Big Mom, he has to beat Big Mom without that. I don't know. Maybe Joy Boy's ability to come back into the world is a one-time thing. Again, I have no idea, bro. I have an opinion on it. Nightmare Luffy situation. What you got here? Other than inherited will is a fraudulent way of acting like destiny isn't a part of One Piece. But who's denying that destiny isn't a part of One Piece at this point? It's obvious. Fate, destiny, free will. Like I think people look at it the wrong way, where they say, "Oh, the theme is destiny." The theme is the concept of free will versus fate. Can you really be free? It's a theme. It's a contrast and compare here. Like there's like what by the end of the story you'll have your answer. Was it destiny? Was it free will? Was it a mixture of both? Can you reject it? Like I think some people are looking at it in a very, very simplistic manner. This chapter inherently wasn't bad, far-reaching implications for the future. Fair enough. You're trying to see where it goes. What's the ooze on Luffy? I don't know, bro. That's what I'm saying. What's happening? Why are you grinning like that? Thank you. Oh, wait, Ryan say? You trying to see where it goes? Uh, think it's simply because Kaido was threatening to take away his freedom and Luffy is down and Joy Boy heard and said, hell no. Because they think Destiny is bad and is done poorly in Naruto, and a lot of people, One Piece fans, act uh like acting superior to Naruto fans. We definitely are better than Naruto fans in terms, well, not better in terms of like the fandom, like we're just obnoxious and terrible, but like we are better than with Naruto niggas. We are better. We're superior. Pirates are better. Pirates are more raw than ninjas. I'm not having that debate. We are better, but they the problem I would say with the Naruto thing is Naruto betrays its theme. Where you could say One Piece introduces a new theme in conjunction with the concept of destiny, free will, and fate. So I've been calling Luffy a child of destiny in some shape or form for a while. I don't inherently think it's a good or bad thing. It's all about how it's done. Bam is like that too. Of Kubera, Lee's is like that too. If Luffy rejects Joy Boy, I expect Joy Boy to laugh and say you really are Joy Boy. That'd be cool. To me, it's whether or not he's possessed or whatever. The fact that Luffy died and came back to life with a new power already makes this start sketchy. I hear that. Two idiots in one body is crazy. To be honest, I think the mechanics behind why he's awakening at all right now is more open for criticism than Joy Boy stuff. That's kind of where I'm at, Glam. Like, why in this very instance did this happen? I think I said earlier, how come it didn't happen when like Crocodile dried him up or stabbed him and left him in the desert? Why didn't this happen when he lost to some other prominent characters or was down for the count with other prominent characters? Or another point, like why when Kaido hit him into the ocean did it happen? Can Joy Boy somewhat see what's happening? Did he know that when he got hit into the ocean, Lost Crew would save him? There's so many unknown. I don't know what to do. My brain. Like imagine Joy Boy being a state Luffy was in after Ace lost, but much worse. Like imagine Luffy had a chance to rewrite his wrong. How would he act? That's why I'm imagining current Joy Boy being okay. And then again, I guess it ties into the promise and the failure that he did. What if Joy Boy giving Luffy a taste of his power and telling Luffy he needs to learn how to use it on his own? I'm cool with that to some degree. Nobody's asking for Luffy to suddenly mature, but at least in pre-time skip, he seemed more involved in the story outside of power feats. I feel like Luffy is the type of person that if he never finds the One Piece and dies, he's okay with it as long as the adventure got to go the way that he wanted. And extremely important clues about that legitimately make the journey less fun for him. I could understand people wanting him to have a higher degree of seriousness and whatnot. But here's my pushback, because I've always said this. I truly believe in the grand scale, One Piece is a pretty simple story. I do think it has some complex things, and I do think Oda's style of storytelling is interesting, a little bit unique, and I do think One Piece is a special narrative. But I do really think that a lot of things are simple. And that, for one, is Luffy's character. Luffy's a static character. There's nothing inherently wrong with a character being static or dynamic, but he, as far as I'm concerned, by Arlong Park, told me exactly what he was going to be about, what his major role in finding the One Piece was going to be. He's going to lead. He's going to be a leader, obviously. He's going to be the captain. He's the guy. I can't use swords. I can't lie. I can't navigate. I can't cook. Well, what can you do? I can kick your ass. I can send you flying. You see, my crew makes up for all of my shortcomings. Robin is the smart one. Nami and blah blah blah. They're doing all of that, mishmash, blah blah blah. But you know what happens if Kaido comes or like Doflamingo comes and wants to take Robin out? I can beat their ass. That's what I can do. They can't do that,
イ
but
エ
I
ー
can
イ
do that for
お
them.
兄ちゃん
And what they
ピ
can
ー
do
ス
is what
ピ
I
ー
can't
ス
do. It's kind of like the idea of complementing somebody's weaknesses with their strength, but their strengths complement their weaknesses. So it's like a complete circle. It's completely enclosed. That's how I've always seen it. So when people are like, "Oh, Luffy needs to care more about like this and blah blah," I'm like, bro, do you know who you're talking about? I hate when people argue things that are like exercising futility. Stop complaining about One Piece character design. They're going to look goofy until the end of the series. Accept it or don't. Shut up. There's certain things like that that I'm tired of hearing people complain about. Luffy is not going to be one day, I'm serious now, blah, blah, blah. Robin, let me see that map and let me get the poneglyph. And he's not doing that. Stop asking for it. It's not his job. Robin is going to do that part for him. Hey, One Piece that
イ
way.
エーイ
Blackbeard in
お
the
兄
way.
ちゃん
Okay, I'm gonna beat
ピー
his
ス
ass and
ピ
get
ー
it.
ス
All right. Sorry. Tangent. Because I'm so fucking tired of that argument. It's not a good criticism. It's not a good critique. It does not make sense within the narrative of One Piece to complain about that. I'm sorry. Okay. So Big Mom would be his legitimate 1v1? Yes. What after about giving Luffy his power, blah blah. I said that already. No one's asking Luffy to mature. There's a theme of freedom and a theme of destiny. Oda just needs to tie them in a good way. Absolutely. Joy Boy failed, so destiny can only take you so far. Naruto Super did before the pain arc as One Piece for Touch the Pirates in the Mud. What's a ninja? JK. JoJo fans, gay people. Hey yo, if I'm a JoJo fan, being a JoJo fan makes me gay. I'm big gay. And depressed alcoholics Gintama fans before Gintama fans are depressed alcoholics. Honestly, I don't mind Luffy. That movie will have Joy Boy Devil Fruit. Oh, did that see him? Them having the same Devil Fruit, I guess, is okay. Because we've seen this man go through the mud multiple times before this. Yeah, what I'm talking about now is people remove the nuance from the discussion. Just saying Destiny bad because Naruto bad. Therefore, One Piece. Therefore, since One Piece is good, it doesn't have Destiny. Ah, okay, I got what you're saying. It has inherited the will. Now see the community theorizing and buzzing again. Reminds me of the referee. Does this series feel like it's rushing at an exponential rate? Luffy just got 3 major power boosts in a single arc. Like, what else is there for him to learn after? I don't think we've learned all the things in conjunction with hockey and devil fruits. But I also like Miles. This is why this ties into the idea that I like that, like a character like Queen, for example, right? I know Queen didn't turn out to be what we wanted him to be, but Queen, I think we can admit as like one of the stronger members in the Yonko crew. He's probably stronger than a lot of pirates, marines, bandits, and revolutionaries throughout the world of One Piece. Like take the totality of characters in One Piece. Queen is an upper echelon combatant, correct? Right? Okay. So the reason that I say that is because he got strong through his devil fruit and science. He's not a hockey user, or I'm not saying he can't use it, but he's not using hockey like that. He's relying on diseases, plagues that he's created. So I think you're gonna find some stronger characters to some degree that are not gonna be super reliant on hockey. They might or devil fruit. They just might have some shit like, yo, I created this. I held up my devil fruit thing, but I created this thing that helps me fight in a way. So, but I don't think Luffy got 3 major power ups in this arc. I would say maybe 1.1, one or two maybe. But I do think that his growth rate did go through like a quick zoop. If that makes sense. Luffy used to be full of personality and fill the page, but in Wano he feels like a Yuji. He doesn't like a real person. What do you mean? Really? And thank you, Zodiac. My guy, 60 months. I gotta do some. We'll have a stream where we just set up some more emotes and stuff too. By the way, Luffy's job is the most important and one of the most important. I agree. Thank you, because I don't really like the argument either. No one said about him being serious. About being more involved doesn't mean you have to be serious. I think Luffy is one of those people who like over trust his crew in a lot of ways. Like no, like no, like Sanji's doing this. Sanji will figure it out. Don't worry. But Luffy, like the moon is falling. He's stuck in the vacuum of space, and the sun is gonna explode. Ah, Sanji will figure it out. Like Luffy has like irrational confidence. If that makes sense. The problems that we see Roger actually try and think, but Roger and Luffy, I don't think had the same personality from the get go. I think there's overlap and the adventuring and the haha blah blah blah. But Roger and Luffy's personality is not the same because even in terms of like maybe Roger was older, but Roger drinks. Luffy doesn't really get drunk like that. And Roger likes bitches. Luffy don't care about bitches. He care about finding that One Piece. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I do think that as more and more we learn about Roger and we learn more about Luffy, and now with the injection of Joy Boy, I think we're starting to finally see the separation between the two. I don't think Roger and Luffy had similar personalities, personally speaking. But I hear what you're saying. But I literally like Luffy the way he is. Maybe it's just me. I'm not looking for that. And that job requires a full-time dedication. Exactly. Clip that. Clip what? The problem is WC blah blah blah. I don't agree with the sentiment since it's a Robin thing. Luffy doesn't have to care. Being a serious character and being actively involved in the various aspects of achieving his dreams are two different things. I don't know. I think I think I think something that is lost is that Luffy's enjoying the journey, the adventure there, and he's cool with not becoming Pirate King. He wants to be it, but if he dies trying, he dies trying. I think there's elemental hockey. I actually agree with that. I think you could add elements to hockey. I don't always necessarily think that like fire thing they're doing is just a friction thing. I kind of think in a lot of ways it could be elemental hockey. I'll speak about it later. Remind me if I forget. If Queen pulled up to Marineford, he would have won. Yeah. Luffy can be joking around most of the time and hear a poneglyph that leads to raft when I think about what that says. To me, it makes it seem like Roger did the hard work for Luffy to get there much easier. It makes it less earned for him. That's fair. I'd say Yuji is a real person, maybe. If you're right, but what I'm saying is that with Luffy, he is now reaching the peak of both Deathroot and Haki, which okay, what he's about. True. Well, if he's awakening now, at least I'd say potentially 3. His Rio being his highest known level of armament, Conqueror's coding, and maybe now awakening. Okay, I got you. He already dead. I honestly doubt Luffy or the rest of his crew will care about the state of the world until they learn the true history. Fair enough. Too many characters do it. Do it. Luffy, Sanji, Kim, and Hogoro, Katakuri. If you look at it from the angle of Luffy's okay with essentially being carried to the One Piece by his friends, then there's really nothing to debate. I guess my problem is why. Look, okay, whoa, the comments going crazy. You're blocking my beautiful, sexy face. Why is Luffy being carried to the One Piece? I guess is my question. Like, why do you see it that way? Because I think that'll help me make more sense of what you think. Because I wouldn't argue Luffy's being carried to the One Piece because again, if Robin's, I know this is just type of this statement here. I know this is a random example. If Robin's reading a poneglyph that Luffy needs, and someone she can't beat pulls up on him, her having that knowledge right now is meaningless because she can't escape the situation to disseminate that knowledge and information to Luffy. But if she's unconscious or whatever, Luffy can beat his ass, that he can get that info. And I do think there's probably going to come a point where all of that connective tissue comes full circle. Because at the end of the day, they did go to Whole Cake for the real poneglyph, and they got it. And that was an important thing that they did. I hope that he puts some more important emphasis on it. I'm not saying your complaint isn't justified. I hear what you guys are saying. I know what you're talking about. You want him to kind of you want to see all the Straw Hats actively care about the dreams and goals. Like Sanji don't talk about all blue. Sanji don't Zoro don't fight no fucking swordsman or people who have the same dreams as him. I get it. I'm not saying it's not happening. I do definitely think with Luffy specifically, people overinflate and misunderstand his character a lot, and that's why they're expecting and wanting him to do all these things. And I'm like, I just don't see or foresee Luffy doing this, and not for a second do I think Luffy's getting carried to the One Piece. So, Luffy growing like crazy was expected because we saw the symbolism of the koi fish turning to a dragon. We saw Wano, he literally climbed the waterfall on a koi fish, hope it executed better. When you switch places with Roger and Luffy, it would be the same. I think it would make sense that time and going be easier. Second person coming around, it makes sense. Luffy was born at the right time. Fair enough. Too many characters with fire abilities. Yeah, I agree with that. And a lot of them, I think most of them that I've seen all had conquerors. I don't remember. I have to check that again because even when I saw like that, like he just throw a gun against like non Chinchao ones, and I thought the discharge might have been electricity. But again, let's see. Would it be weird Luffy cared about the Void Sentry while he doesn't even care about Nami's backstory, which happened 20 years ago? I don't know if that would be weird, but I hear what you're saying. It wouldn't. It might not be consistent because he typically does not care about that kind of thing. But I think in this situation, all he really wanted Nami to do was to be truthful and rely on him for help. While Garp compared Roger more to Ace than Luffy, so I can see that's just overlap between him and Luffy. Yeah, I think it goes back to him being the child of prophecy and the world will do everything for him when he gets to need to be. I don't have much to add to the discussion aside from me liking the idea of Luffy being able to liquefy, and I hope that is him. That's a move inspired by Katakuri. That's interesting. Yeah, one of my criticism, I feel like half of the crew dreams don't matter. I agree with that. When Dritz made that video, he was talking about it, especially when he got to Zoro. I'm like, Zoro really don't fight nobody who even wants to be like the best glaive user. At least it's like a weaponry clash. Like nah. In every aspect of the combat, I think he is because he's doing no real work to understand anything about the dream he wants to achieve outside of him just desiring it for a specific reason regarding freedom. Because contrary to what Luffy thinks, being the Pirate King isn't only about freedom. I'm trying to think. I think Luffy is a weird leader, but a competent leader. At the end of the day, whether or not you think his belief are justified, the crew pretty much wholeheartedly believes in what is his capabilities and his abilities. But it's like so hard for like as much as I hear what you're saying, like what like let me just sports analogy. Maybe the sports analogy will help me make sense of this. Let's say I'm Michael Jordan. And all I do is defend the best player and score baskets. Is that not very important? As a leader and whatever. Sure, Scott is getting rebounds, he's doing assists, he's also playing defense and blah blah blah. And Phil Jackson is doing that, blah blah blah. But if my crew is solid enough that they all have their established roles, that I could focus on mine, which is extremely important. If no one could beat Crocodile here, we don't get to the next island. We lose today. If no one could beat Kuro, the adventure is over. If no one could beat Doflamingo, we're done. Like Luffy having to beat these strong combatants is not some like, oh yeah, he grabbed like 5 rebounds in like 20 minutes. Good job. Like no, he's the leader of the team. Like I don't think like I almost like what you're asking Luffy to do is like be a heliocentric offense, like a Luca ball, if you will, or LeBron ball. He always has the ball in his hand and he makes everything happen. Every assist, every point, all the plays happen through him. And I don't need that. And I don't like that. And I'm okay with Luffy for the I do think that at some point, when it's like time to really go after the One Piece, Luffy's gonna have to sit and fucking listen. At the very least. Whether or not he's like, ooh, I'm so intrigued. It's like, okay, we got the 4 poneglyphs, we got this, we got that. And Robin's talking and he's listening. Think I think as long as like when it's time to really go to Raftail, he's on his P's and Q's, I'll probably be okay. Story's not done. There's a many things that could happen. I'm not making that excuse. We could judge the story on everything that's happened to this day. And if you're not happy right now, right here, it's okay. I don't do that thing where it's like, we have to wait and see. Oh my God. No, I'm not doing that. But there's still a lot that could happen. You have no idea. I don't think One Piece is ending for another 8 to 10 years, if I'm being real. I think at minimum 6 from this day. So, or this year from 2022, really and truly. So, uh, basically, I'd rather see Luffy and Zoro goof around as opposed to seeing these scabbers fathers who don't contribute. I feel that. I need them to talk more too. I like that. Like one of my criticisms to the crew doesn't talk as much anymore. Because even that one part in Wano where they're all eating some soba noodles for like 2 seconds, I'm like, man, I just missed that interaction. Luffy's basically Jesus at this point. Destiny carrying Luffy. Hey, what did Brago say once? Kid is Luffy without the luck and destiny. It's very likely that Luffy is a lot dumber and more simple than Roger Dorport. No, it's not. I don't even think that it's because even like Luffy, I'd argue in a lot of ways is the dumbest character we've seen. No, and I mean that because even someone as like gullible and like idiotic in a lot of ways as Chopper, Chopper is at very least a subject matter expert. He knows medicine. You feel what I'm saying? You can take some other character like Frankie can be kind of goofy and whatnot, even though he's serious and he's hard boiled and gets bitches and whatnot. But like Frankie can build. You know what I'm saying? Like like I thought Garp was probably kind of an airhead too because of the D stuff. Garp has shown me over the course of the series in enough instances, at the very least, he's very wise and experienced. He's a wise man. His experiences throughout the world have kind of made him think like that part when he's talking about the reverie stuff really did a lot for me. Like I genuinely think that, especially if you're comparing a Joy Boy to Luffy, I do think Luffy is dumber than all of them. Luffy is not. Luffy was raised in the jungle, bro. Like he don't got no real education. I'm gonna finish some reading today, and if you're around later, I can hop in card. All right. To say Luffy is getting carried by destiny is a stretch when you consider all stuff he went through. I do think that maybe fate is starting to come and start to kind of push him along a certain path, but I do think he's legitimately achieved a lot by his own merits and with what him and the crew have done and figured out. Usopp should be fighting other snipers. That'd be so cool. I really wish. I want to see a sniper battle. I don't care if they're just like they let off like one shot every 3 minutes and they're just trying to get positioning. You ever play Metal Gear Solid? We got to fight like what's your name? Sniper Wolf? Wow, what's wrong with me? Or like the end, you gotta like move position. Like that'd be dope. Well, LeBron, MJ. So no, I mean, I think MJ's better, but so Luffy needs everything like LeBron. I'm not a LeBron. I'm not a LeBron fan, but I think Michael Jordan's better. I don't watch Dragon Ball. Could I get a football analogy? I don't watch NFL. I could probably give you a soccer analogy if you mean football like that. I don't watch football. American football is not something that I watch. I only two sports I'm familiar with is soccer and basketball like that. See, that's what I'm talking about. When you're saying he has to listen, I'm not sure he is because I have no reason to believe that he will care right now. I think at that point it's like the final stretch of the journey. I think his will and motivation would probably be elevated. I could see him still tuning out or them having to try to force him to listen, but be in the conversation, I guess. When the demons opens his grasp, he's gonna let him fall by the wayside. Luffy was actually listening during Zoe. Yeah, I want to say I know there's instances where he's kind of listened, but sometimes he listens or he's there, but he's not getting the information. Like when Nami was explaining the currents, and him and Zoro are like, it's a mystery current or something like that. So we'll have to sit in the say or come to a conclusion after listening to snowlights.com, which is the main issue. Luffy doesn't do that. He just goes to the flow with what he to get what he wants. That one episode where Luffy picks up a book and puts it down a second later. Well, they're like he's reading Sniper Wolf. Yes, yes, yes. Luffy got the street smarts on God. He got the combat savviness. But even I would call him not the biggest combat maybe genius we've seen in this series. But he's had instances like assimilating Sora after seeing it like a couple times. Garp is very smart and knows a lot. He just suffered so much and got so much guilt in him. He hides that by acting dumb and smiling at anything. He just blunt. While Destiny could have put him through his hardships so he would be ready for whatever has to come. It'd be great. It'd be cold as fuck on the way to Beehive Island, 10 miles away. Usopp and Van Arger start intercepting. Yo, that'll be so sick. Oh, okay. So you meant actual football. Let me see if I can think of one example. But see, that's a little harder because like that's like basketball's a sport that I think one person could win the game because you can't defend 5 people, but you can put 50 on 5 people. But I would argue like your central midfielder, right? Your central midfielder, typically I would say a lot of times I don't know if you're taught differently over there in Europe. I am actually Canadian, but soccer was my sport. Like my center midfielder was an important position for a lot of reasons. You control the middle. Ball distribution is very important to you. If you're gonna switch sides, and you still gotta play offense and defense. Like your role there in the middle, in terms of executing and getting the offense to run, but also having to come back and still play defense. Like you have an extremely major role that almost ties into every part of the game. You still have to work in tandem with the goalie, with the defense, with the forwards, with the strikers, and all of that. But if you are just like a striker, your job is to just score goals. But it's not an unimportant role, even if that's all you're doing. So with Luffy being so in a lot of ways, what I'm saying is Luffy is like your top striker, and if you will, he's the captain and the striker, and he's putting up hat tricks every game, but he's not particularly playing defense. Defense is what Sanji is doing. Sanji's making sure we get the shutouts. You know what I'm saying? So I probably could think of a better example, but it's much harder in the sport of soccer to do literally everything because you have 10 players and a keeper, 11 on the field. It's like that's a sport that's way harder to win by yourself. So basketball, I think the basketball analogy works better because I do think it's one of those sports that even if you have the worst team, but you have the best player, you could win. So yeah. I'm out about to reset this shit internet. Did I cut out or something? Or is it you guys? Am I lagging? Oh no, I don't think so. I think I'm good. Let me see. I do think it's one of those sports. I'll be good. It's a dichotomy between Luffy's personality and what we expect a Pirate King entails. I don't particularly have any Pirate King expectations, to be honest. If you're the Pirate King, and you get the title, you just are who you are. Like if I did all this stuff and I'm the Pirate King, I don't particularly believe I have to act a certain way. I'm just Naya. I'm the Pirate King now. But all right, bro. I'm finished reading. I'll be around. Have a good stream. All right, man. I wouldn't be surprised if Garp is the leader of Sword since he wanted to be a vice admiral because he wanted to move around and maybe this was many things he did in the Marines on the low. And for example, I guess a Luffy like a receiver, but we want him to be a quarterback. Like yeah, a quarterback kind of runs, but then again, like but then also you want your quarterback to come with the defensive line as well, and also like man the defense. It's like no, it's okay to have roles, and to be a star in your role. Where I think being the primary defender and the best player and goal and scorer is very important, even if those it's a small thing. Yeah, I drop 30 points a game and I hold their best player to like 10% under their like field goal percentage average. And you're the captain and leader of the team. I think that's I don't know. Because that's again at the end of the day. Because again, let's say Luffy is really involved. He really cares and blah blah whatever. And like Robin gets the information, he wants to care about it, or Nami or someone, but they can't beat whoever they're fighting. But Luffy can. Like him beating the strongest combines is very important. Because even Zoro's job as beating the second strongest, I think, is very important. So the only thing I expect to bring the characters is for him to be the free and the strongest. I expect him to find the One Piece and the truth of the world. That's what I think, right? So I want Luffy to play 1v11 in the I feel like Sanji would be the best Saga player, low key, because he got the footwork at the feet. But in a nutshell, though, I honestly do like the chapter. Thought it was good. I'm just kind of scared because this is one of those moments where I'm starting to feel a huge paradigm shift here. Like, oh, depending on how this all plays out in the grand scheme of things, this could make. I'm not be dramatic and say make or break the series, but it can really map out the trajectory for the rest of the series. Are we gonna go on a downward, on an upward? Are we gonna stay kind of stagnant? Shit, nigga, will we roller coaster? I don't know. So basically, the Straw Hats are like wingers spamming spamming crosses in the box for Luffy. Yeah, like setting him up to have the bet. But then again, I don't even. Yeah, but I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. As far as CP0 goes, since the masked dudes all got clapped, Rob Gucci will be the next generation. Yeah. I think he'll end up becoming the leader or one of the more important leaders or the next leader candidate. But I still don't think he's strong enough to fuck with Zoro, Sanji, Luffy, Jinbei, those type of characters. But yeah, the analogy is clean just because it's like they're aiding Luffy in scoring. Like they're doing all the help. Like maybe he's not getting the ball himself and just deking everybody, step over left, right, down the wing and whatever, but like he's in the right position and they're sending in the perfect crosses for him to get the headers, stretch his head out, go no, Kane. So Yeah. Luffy would go crazy as a goal scorer, but he might lose attention and get 10 goals scored at him. I could see that. That's why you got to be a striker. I don't want him on defense, but I think he'd be a good striker. I actually think like Sanji would be a great defender. Especially if like what if Nami's the keeper? Like you dare try to kick the ball that hard at Nami Nami Swan, he go crazy defending the net. So a good chapter. I think the most important. So let me like wrap this up because I'm gonna go eat. Um, I'm gonna head out for a bit, but I think the important thing this chapter did was I really like Kaido's speech and what he said about war, and like you challenging me and engaging in war against me is you jeopardizing, it's you risking gambling your future, your hopes, your dreams, your ideal, and your freedom. You've lost this war. I don't care what you are, what you identify as you will be my slave until your body gives out, and I will replace you. That's cold, which is why and with the way that Big Mom lost, even though it's still a legit victory, and with Kaido winning, even though you could say it's not a legit victory because again, CP0 interfered, but then again, I don't think that Kaido was particularly in major danger. I thought they were playing on a very similar playing field. I personally believe, also as somebody who didn't put the Yonko on the pedestal the same way most loud and proud members of the community did, I still think the integrity of the four emperors is intact. I think one of the most important things that need to be addressed with this Joy Boy awakening is why Luffy? I need to know why. Why now? Why in this instance? Is it because he's dead? I think those are probably some of the important questions to be addressed right now. The truth about Joy Boy and maybe his promises, Yoshino, we can get that later, but I need to know why the awakening happened now. And personally, I think it's going to. I hope it doesn't make him stronger. I do. I don't know, bro. I don't know. This is like me looking at. I don't know if that live reaction is up, but there's a live reaction where in Reverie with the hat, and I think I just paused for like 5 minutes. Like I don't know what to say. I have no idea what's going on. So yeah. Lucci would demolish Jinbei. Unfortunately, I actually don't agree with that. Unless Rob Lucci got one of those like really massive behind the scenes power growths. I think Jinbei is stronger than him personally. If you think Rob Lucci, but then again, I'll be honest, I'm not really a Rob Lucci fan. I don't really like him, and I don't really think it makes. I think like at best he could win and put up a fight against these guys because they're tired. But I actually don't see him as superior to Jinbei in a fight. I love how Kaido such an amazing speech. Then Yamato came with the dope mini speech right after. Yeah, Yamato's speech was dope too because she's like, yo, we waited 20 years for this moment. There's no giving up. There's no surrendering. I'd rather die fighting, die together. And Law and Kid were on the same gimmick. So my analogy for the Nova trio is Law is a quarterback. He does all the decisions for Luffy's a classic center. Just get him the ball and let him dunk. And Kid is the fraud coach who claps his hands, watching his star do everything. He's Steve Kerr over there. Steph Curry rating threes. Like, yeah, I did this. I'm joking. I'll give Steve Kerr his credit, even though Mark Jackson did a lot set it up. But all right, if Pell comes in to kick down the Big Mom ship. But okay, again, crazy chapter. I'm gonna think about it. Oh, we're on break next week. You're such a bitch ass nigga, Oda. You a bitch ass nigga for that. Cause this is I can't believe you're gonna make me sit on this for fucking 2 weeks. I'm losing my mind. I'm not okay. I have so many questions. I'm not okay. It's just bothering me. It's to be on my mind for so long. But good chapter though. I hope that it all plays out well in the end. I said not Goda. I just hope it's not to make the right person was chosen. The Don kind of flashing to Whitebeard saying you're not the man he was waiting for. It shouldn't change Luffy or make him stronger. I feel it. When people say that, I'm moved. Yeah, yeah. I hope so. But again, very interesting stuff, to say the very least. And we'll see how it all plays out. But you guys take care. I'm gonna go eat some food and get some things done today. Check out the Best Friends broadcast channel if you haven't already for to see me and my best friend talking about like very real world topics. If that interests you in any capacity, Well, I have to add the that link to Nightbot, but I'm gonna post it here just so in case you want to check it out. If you don't follow my archive channel, to where I post each and every stream I do on Twitch, definitely go follow that just in case you missed it and you just want to watch the VOD on YouTube or something. I always have them there. So I'll post this here. So check the channel out and you guys be safe. I'm gonna be out. You're
지금 우유 배달해야 되거든요.
배달해. 일 방해 안 되는 얘기만 하면 되니까.
I know you try, look at my eyes, silver my thighs like I'm chicky with the knife.